Gymnasium in Suwon, South Korea, where you join us for more action in the second week of the Volleyball Nations League. We're in Pool 6, and today's matchup is an all-European affair between Germany and Russia. Two teams looking to get back to winning ways after suffering defeats yesterday. So the teams arriving earlier on, first of all, the Russians, ranked number 5 in the world, one of the 12 core nations in the inaugural VNL. In the 5 matches contested to date, they bring a 3-2 record for 4th in the standings with a 9-point total. This is them arriving in good spirits despite that defeat against Korea. A notable victory. There's confirmation that they were turned over by Korea yesterday in a rivalry that they dominate historically. Ksenia Perubets, the captain and leading scorer, not able to find a way to overturn the inspired performance by the Korean squad on home territory. Well, as for Germany, they too lost yesterday. Straight sets defeat against Italy, and more alarmingly for them, after opening the VNL with a stunning victory over Brazil in Pool 4 last week. They have since lost all of their 4 matches, and here's confirmation that they were beaten in straight sets against Italy yesterday. 25-22, 25-18, 25-20 in just 1 hour and 24 minutes. And that is how it affects the league table. Russia actually 8th in the standings with their 9-point total, record of 3-2, tied with China in that respect. Every team has experienced defeat now, and it is the reigning world champions, the USA, who lead proceedings with an identical 4-1 record to Serbia, Brazil, Turkey, Korea and the Netherlands, but the USA have 13 points as their sole defeat came via a 3-5 set margin. Well, you can see Germany at the wrong end of the table from their perspective, and more alarmingly is the slide that they have experienced after winning in that stunning upset against the reigning South American champions Brazil. 4 successive losses, and they're looking to get back to winning ways here at the Suwon Indoor Gymnasium against Russia. But it's a rivalry where historically the statistics aren't on their side. The coin toss then between the respective skippers, Maren From and Rina and Ksenia Perubets. And the crowd in attendance here have seen some terrific volleyball from all of the 4 teams contesting Pool 6, Korea, Germany, Italy and Russia. And this player, Luisa Lippmann, Germany's top scorer with 86 points, and she's been the leading scorer in 4 of their 5 matches to date. She's been absolutely sensational in every facet of the game, and her spiking has been a real feature, prominent feature of her play. 78 successful spikes in the tournament, full of enthusiasm and energy. She'll be looking to turn that individual success into a team victory. For Russia, Voronkova, well, she has been a real explosive catalyst as a player, and this is a primary reason why the jump serve, and when it's in play, it comes over at a rate of beyond 90 kilometers per hour, and you can see the dip, how it just puts players in a real quandary as to how to play it, often uncontrollable, and then coming in from the flanks or from the backcourt, she's a really effective hitter. 33 successful spikes in the tournament for Voronkova, and she's hitting at a rate of 50%. Her and Natalia Malik for the Russian outfit converting successful spikes at 50% or better. So ably aiding the skipper Ksenia Perubets in terms of effective offense close to the net. So the teams then preparing for the introductions here at the Suwon Indoor Gymnasium. And with Germany looking to arrest their slide in the VNL, well, perhaps they won't be pleased to see the team of Russia on the other side of the net. Because Russia, including the Soviet Union, have won 28 of the 30 matches played against German teams at world level. As we prepare for the national anthems of the two teams here contesting this Pool 6 encounter.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of our team's national anthems?
관중 여러분, 국가 연주가 있겠습니다. 모두 자리에서 일어나 주시기 바랍니다.
First, the national anthem of Germany.
먼저 독일 팀의 국가 연주입니다.
And now, the national anthem of Russia.
이어서 러시아 팀의 국가 연주입니다.
So after the respective national anthems, a final huddle for the squads before the starting sixers make their way out onto court during the introductions. Or can Germany find something within themselves to bring to an end their four-game losing streak? Russia looking to bounce back to winning ways and avoid falling to 500 in the VNL.
And
The
now,
officials
here are today's international referees.
for the match.
네, 이번 경기를 주관할 심판진 소개가 있겠습니다.
The first referee from Hong Kong is Lee Hang-fai.
주심의 홍콩의 리흥파이.
The second referee from Egypt is Kendall Well.
부심의 이집트 캔딜 웰.
So the officials to their respective positions, and now for the introduction of the starting lineups, both Germany and Russia. So it's Germany who are introduced first to the crowd here. Denise Hanke, the 18-year-old, getting a start, 1.79 meters tall. And then comes the captain, Maren From, 31 years of age. 8 points yesterday against Italy. Lina Stigroth, the 23-year-old. The starting nod. There's the leading scorer, Louisa Littmann. For Germany, 15 points against Italy yesterday. Marie shows up. Terrific blocking at the net. 8 points in the defeat against Italy. Libero, Lenka Durr, so crucial in keeping points alive and getting Germany into a position where they can turn. Dogged defending into point-winning plays. Felix Kozlowski, the 34-year-old head coach, one of the youngest in the tournament, but heaps of experience, having been a long-time assistant previously. And now for the Russians. Katerina Efimova, 6 points against Korea yesterday. She's joined out on the court by Tatiana Romanova, 2 points against Russia. Fetisova, outstanding against Korea with 12 points. Voronkova was highlighted as the player to watch. And the last of the starting six out is the captain, the leading scorer, Perubets. Liberos, Talisheva getting introduced as well, along with her libero partner. So the starting sixers then, Lenka Durr, the libero for the German team. Scherzel, Stigroth, Hanke, Littmann, From and Grunding. One of the players who will take to the court to start this match. Liberos, of course, can be substituted on and off at any time. Fetisova, Voronkova, Malik, Romanova, Perubets, and Efimova. With Talisheva, the libero. So the opening about to get underway, with these teams having suffered defeats here at the Suwon Indoor Gymnasium yesterday. One of those streaks is going to come to an end. But in which way will that go? So it's going to be Germany to serve first. It will be Maren From to get things started from behind the service line. So Voronkova with the reception. Perubets with the first spike. Perubets with the bump, there's the set, and then Perubets called into action to produce the point-winning play. Russia get the first point on the board, the block from Germany landing out of bounds. Louisa Littmann not able to control it as the leading respective point scorers go head-to-head. Fetisova with the serve then. Well dug out by Durr. That's a terrific hit from Stigroth. Terrific elevation. Perfect precision with the put away. Coming in from outside of the court, piercing the defense perfectly. Perubets electing to play that, may have gone long. Backcourt spike attempted, and it produces a point-winning play for Russia. They take the lead, 2-1. Rubets producing a spike. Hanka was unable to control. So Russia serving, 2-1 was the set. And Lippmann with a pulverizing put away. My goodness, that came down on a steep angle. No chance of that being returned into play. Point Germany to tie things up at 2. So Lippmann to serve then. Looking to add to the 1 point she just produced for her squad. Delicate touch, well saved by Durr. The bump from Hanka, Lippmann with a big spike. That's well played by Romanova. Russia touch it over. Terrific reflexes by Perubets. The bump from Talisheva. Russia being pulled apart a little bit. Now they have time to reset. Big spike is terrifically saved from the backcourt by Voronkova. Russia get it over. Lenka Durr with the bump. The reverse set. And finally, Germany come away with the point at the conclusion of that mega rally. Scherzel with the spike, but my goodness, did Russia defend tenaciously during the course of that point. Absolutely sensational. There's the conclusion of it, but prior to that, there were some terrific saves by the Russian defenders. So Lippmann serving, Germany leading 3-2. That service error will tie things up at 3 points apiece. So Perubets to serve. Terrific hitting once again from the flank from Scherzel. Two successive German points in a row coming from her hand. Perubets with the reception. Oh, terrific elevation off one leg from Efimova. Plenty of space in the German defenses. And she picked one of them off the ground so quickly off one leg. And it's Efimova to serve. Service error. Gives Germany a 1 point advantage. Into the game, Talisheva, the libero. Well left by Marin From. So Scherzel with the serve, and it's an unreturnable one. Very low speed, but almost like a knuckleball. It was drifting and dipping, and it was unplayable, deceiving Voronkova in flight. Look at that. Terrific service. First ace of the match from Scherzel. Oh, what a block. Voronkova timed her leap to perfection and was able to angle it straight down onto court. First point of the match for Voronkova, and my goodness, did she dominate the net on that particular point. It's an effective backcourt spike. My goodness, what a point, because the captain, Marin From almost in line with the net, was able to set up Lippmann, and Lippmann put it beyond the outstretched arm of Talisheva to give Germany a 2 point advantage. So Hanka with the serve, Voronkova with the reception, Talisheva with the bump. Heavy hitting being thundered down from Malik. Russia get themselves back to within one. That's a terrific reception from Voronkova to keep Russia in the point. Entertaining rally ensued. Attempted block was unsuccessful. Marin From with the put away. With Germany having arrived at the 8-point total, the first of our technical timeouts. Perubets and Fetisova unable to combine to keep that point in play for Russia. So it's been nip and tuck in the opening exchanges here at the Suwon Indoor Gymnasium. Germany with a 2-point advantage. Remember, it's German teams who have enjoyed success against Russia, including the USSR, and one of their 2 victories coming courtesy of East Germany, who beat the Soviet Union 3-2 way back at the 1986 World Championships. Germany's most recent victory coming back at the 2004 World Grand Prix, and that going the 5-set distance. So Maren From to serve. Germany leading by 2. Delicate touch from Malik. Terrific defense at the net, and it produces a point-winning play for Russia. Communication and anticipation working in perfect harmony there. Look at how the Russians converge on the net. Malik and Fetisova combining for that block. Russia back to within 1. Well saved by Voronkova. Has to go over on this touch. Oh, Perubets just wide of the sideline. There was plenty of space at which to aim. She went for that far corner cross court, but it was just wide of the sideline. So Grunding preparing to serve. Germany leading by 2. Perubets with the reception. Romanova with the set. Well received from Hanka. Oh, and beautifully finding the space with wonderful precision. Lippmann just bisecting the Russian defenders. And that is 3 points in the match now for Germany's leading scorer. Grunding to serve once again. Germany with a 3-point advantage, 10-7. Voronkova with the reception. Lippmann with the bump. The set comes from Hanka. Lippmann again with the overhead. Has to go over on this occasion. Romanova does so. Backcourt spike is received by Romanova. Terrific play. Talisheva put the ball in position for Russia before it was set up nicely for the emphatic overhead. So it's a 2-point match. Malik serving, 2 points in the match for her so far. Almost caught in 2 minds there with Stigroth. Russia have to get themselves reorganized. Malenka Dur unable to control that overhead that came in her direction from Perubets. It's a 1-point match now. Almost got caught in 2 minds, Stigroth. Set from Talisheva is pounced upon by Perubets. 2 points in the match for her. And Kadur with the reception. Big overhead from Stigroth, who's really exploding off the court and thundering down these spikes. 2 points in the match now. Her team lead by 2. So Lippmann to serve. Catches the net cord and it just deceives Efimova. She was unable to control the reception. After the ball's trajectory was altered. There's the net cord and Efimova couldn't adjust. So Lippmann serving. 4 points in the match so far. On that, her first unreturnable serve. Backcourt spike is sent back. Quick reactions from Malik to catch the rebound. So timeout called by Russia at a point where they are trailing by 4. Germany 13, Russia 9 in the opening set here at the Suwon Indoor Gymnasium. Terrific reflexes from Malik. But then effective blocking at the net. A combination of Hanke and Grunding. No chance of that point going in Russia's favor. Despite being 0-2 so far in pool play here at the Suwon, Germany have actually competed pretty well. If they can turn that effective competition in patches and consolidate it into a win here in the first set, well, that will do their confidence a world of good. But that's a terrific point-winning play from Perubet. 3 points in a match for her now, all of them coming on effective kills. Approaching 90 kilometers per hour. It was indeed a super spike. So from with the reception. Terrific defending at the net. Voronkova in position once again. Player is normally so dominant on offense, coming up with that monster block, and both of her points have come with towering blocks. It's almost a replay of her first effective kill. Oh, what a save from Talisheva. Russia still in the point. Perubets with the delicate touch from the backcourt, and Russia turn a seemingly disadvantageous position into a point-winning play. That was a terrific save just here. And then look at that, with 3 German defenders all at the net. Perubets picked the vacant space perfectly. But Russia can't get back to parity. Following serve, sailing beyond the baseline. So Germany restore their 2-point advantage, 14-12, as Stigroth prepares to serve. Perubets with the reception. Big hit is put away by Efimova for her second point of the match. And it brings Russia back to within 1. So Efimova to serve. From the second point of the match. That perfect set from Hanke. Powered down the serve, which gives her team a 3-point lead. Came at an acute angle. Russia were unable to keep it in play. So Scherzel to serve. Oh, and it's an unreturnable serve. It's a second of the match. An ace from Scherzel takes Germany to the 16-point total, which brings up technical timeout number 2. Scherzel with 4 points so far, 2 spikes and 2 unreturnable serves. Perubet's electing to leave it, and it dipped steeply inside the service line to give Germany a 3-point advantage. So some of the highlights from what has been a competitive opening set to this point. Perubet 4 points in the match to lead her team in scoring. Scherzel has been absolutely sensational. Not only has she produced 2 successful spikes, but 2 unreturnable serves as well. She's preparing to serve now. Germany leading by 3. It's another jump serve. This one does go long. Perubet's elected to leave the previous one, but her judgment was spot on in this particular instance. So it's a 2-point match. Russia preparing to serve. It's Romanova with the flat service. So point to Russia. Stigro with the reception. The set from Hanka. Big backcourt spike from Littman. And kept in play. Remarkable from Voronkova. Lenka Dur with this bump. Talisheva setting up Voronkova. Dur in the firing line once again. Hit over by the captain from Talisheva. The set from Romanova. And finally, the point-winning play produced by Voronkova, who was the hero of the moment on that particular point, because how she kept Russia in it during the course of that mega rally was absolutely terrific. Look at her hurtle after this one into her opponent's side of the court, getting back into position, and then when ultimately the set came in her direction, she made no mistake. Despite that lung-busting effort and a 28-second rally, she was able to recover. Look at her setting up on the left side now. There's the set from Romanova, and that was too steep and came in too rapid a fashion for Lenka Dur to deal with. All square at 16 points apiece, but then the point goes back in Germany's favor after that service error. But that's the type of play punctuated by terrific retrieval skills from Voronkova and that point-winning spike, which could really shift momentum in their favor. Well, Talisheva unable to control that service from Hanka, which came over pretty quickly. Unreturnable serve from Hanka, her first of the match. Germany lead by 2. Received by Voronkova. The set is turned back. Louisa Littman absolutely ecstatic, having produced that monster block, her first of the match. 5 points in the match for her now. Terrific play. She's getting it done in all facets of the court. An unreturnable serve. And 3 spikes as well. Germany lead by 3. Perubets with the reception. Big spike fired over from Maligina. And then she was in position to produce the kill block on the front line with a teammate. So Voronkova to come with a bullet serve. Well dealt with by Germany. Louisa Littman with the effective spike. Littman now with her 4th effective kill to move to 5 points in the match and give her team a 3-point advantage, defying the block attempt of the duo of Russian defenders. Perubets with the reception, then into action with the spike. Set from Hanka. Backcourt spike is a beauty by From, my goodness. And Germany closing in on the first set. Felix Kozlowski pleased with the way his team are playing. They are full of energy, showing terrific togetherness. And that could well be a crucial component as they edge ever closer to the 25-point winning total with a 4-point advantage deep into this first set. So Marion From, 2 points in the match so far. She's preparing to serve as Germany lead by 4, 21-17. Well, there was acres of space in which to aim for Fetisova, and she picked one with aplomb. Take your pick. Actually, putting it right through Maren From. Just long, have to say that's well judged by Germany. Fetisova with the service error. So Germany now in a really commanding position as Grunding prepares to serve. They lead by 4. And Russia are going to need a run of sustained points to prevent Germany from taking the first set. Can they put that string of points together? Well, there's the first of them. Maligina. Terrific height on that put away. Approaching 3 meters. She's serving now. Reception by Stigroth. And then she's caught into action with the spike. And she gets off the ground so quickly. 3 points in the match now. They're splitting the Russian defenses who converged on the net. So Lippmann would love to close it out on her serve. Germany leading by 4, 23-19. Lenke with the reception of that spike. That's terrific hitting from Stigroth once again to bring up set point. 4 points in the match now from Stigroth. And she has produced some highlight reel hitting from that wing to put her team in this advantageous position. Look at the elevation once again, and then a pile driver of a put away. Lippmann serving set point, 24-19. Maligina. Germany get it back over. A change of tempo, well recovered by Efimova, but a terrific save from Voronkova once again. But Russia were pulled all over the place, and as they attempted to recover, Germany were able to exploit the open court that resulted. They take the first set, 25 points to 19 in 23 minutes of play. Terrific effort from Germany. Not suffering any hangover from the disappointment of 4 straight defeats. They're looking to bring that run to an end. Look at Voronkova hurling herself to the court once again, but as she recovered back to her position, wasn't able to get there quickly enough. And the point-winning spike powered across the court to see Germany take a 1-0 lead. Scherzel, who led all scorers with 6 points in that match, but that player, Stigroth, was absolutely electric. Louisa Lippmann with 5 points. Saw her produce a terrific block, which she hadn't been given credit for on a statistics sheet, but make no mistake, she's been a factor, both offense and defense. Losky encouraging from the sidelines. From with 2 points on 2 successful kills. Captain, energetic as ever, attempting to keep her team in points. Voronkova was outstanding during the course of that first set. Some terrific plays, including a hustle play which wouldn't show up on these stats score, but keeping a team in a point by sprinting over to Germany's side of the net. Now there's the block from Lippmann, but on the official stat score, she hasn't been given credit for that. So she remains on 5 points officially, courtesy of 4 effective kills and a serve. There's evidence of the towering defensive play that she's produced. 4 unreturnable serves during the course of that opening set for Germany, 2 of them coming from the hand of Scherzel. Look at that one that dipped inside the baseline. Impossible to read. Perubets elected to watch it, and it proved to be an ace. So Germany with the edge in statistics. Russia blocking effectively, more effective serving in terms of unreturnable serves and spiking as well from the set winners Germany. So preparing then for set number 2, Russia to serve. With Romanova. Now, that's an unreturnable serve, the first ace for Russia in the match, and a terrific way to begin the second set after conceding the first. Romanova with her first points of the match. Has to go over on this touch. Voronkova with the backcourt spike sent Stigroth sprawling. And from able to produce the acute angle on the spike from the flank to bring it back to parity. Look at that for a save from Stigroth. Absolutely sensational. Service error. Makes it advantage Russia once again. So Voronkova, given how she's been playing, we see another traceability to the serve that's in play. That's exactly what it is. Well handled by Stigroth. So Lippmann putting that one way out of bounds. Russia leading by 2. So where will Voronkova place this one? Jump spike serve. And that's the flip side. Shaking her head frustratedly. But when it's in, it is a serious weapon, but oftentimes can fizz into the net. So Germany back to within 1. Grunding, 1 point in the match so far, preparing to serve. Voronkova with the reception. The reverse set is dinked over the net by Malik. Wide of the mark. And the attempted put away from Stigroth. Now there's a touch, so the point in fact goes in Germany's favor. So a challenge has been launched. Because the point was called Germany's after a deflection was spotted by Lee Hong-Fei at the net. Russia have launched a challenge immediately, suggesting that the ball didn't touch one of their defenders' hands. So Hawkeye called into action and will be looking for a touch or not. Official review. And there's no touch. The official call, the ball just curving beyond the forearm of the Russian defender. Point to Russia. They have the serve and they lead by 2. 4-2 is the score. As for Tisova, preparing to serve. 3 points in the match so far. From with the reception. Lippmann with the big spike. Well saved by Romanova. Lenka with the set. Touched over by Stigroth. Time for Russia to set for the backcourt spike. Terrific save by Durr. Germany have to get it over on this touch, and it's turned back emphatically at the net by Malik. Well, Germany were put on the ropes during the course of that point, and Russia ultimately able to capitalize. What a save by Lenka Durr. And Stigroth had her attempted spike blocked effectively. From with the scrambling reception, bumped over by Stigroth. And again, Germany being pulled asunder by this precise hitting, the powerful hitting being produced by Russia. And they have a 4-point advantage. They really are setting themselves quickly, and while Germany are trying to regroup and recover, well, Russia aren't giving them the time to do so. Terrific play to begin this second set. Durr with the reception. Lippmann with the big spike at the net. Germany break Russia's run of points to close the gap to 3. Lippmann with 7 points in the match so far. She leads all scorers. 95 kilometers per hour practically on that spike. She's serving now. Well received by Voronkova. Big hit from Perubets takes her to 5 points in the match and restores Russia's advantage back to 4. So Malik to serve. Backcourt spike, did it bite the baseline? No, it was just long from Lippmann. She receives a consoling pat from Stigroth because that's one she would have backed herself to execute effectively, but instead, in going for depth, she's just put it long, and that takes Russia to the 8-point total to trigger the first technical timeout. They lead by 5. So Lippmann leads all scorers with 7 points, 5 of which came in set number 1. Leading light for Germany once again is confirmation of her numbers. Remember, she's been Germany's leading scorer in 4 of the 5 completed matches to date. She started this match in a similar vein. The only fixture, which is an exception from Lippmann being the leading scorer, was when they won 3-1 against Brazil, when it was the captain, Maren From, who led her team in that victory with 19 points. But there's the block from Lippmann, which she still hasn't been given credit for. On the statistics sheet, at least. So action back underway. Well dug out by Germany. Romanova with the set. The backcourt spike from Voronkova couldn't be handled by Germany, and they have come racing out of the blocks to take a 6-point lead. Terrific precision. And that put away. Malik to serve. Reverse set. See Scherzel go off one leg to move to 7 points in the match on her 5th effective kill. Germany closed the deficit to 5. So Stigroth to serve. Perubets with the reception. Maren From has her spike dealt with. Romanova setting up Enfimova. Germany keep it in play. Oh, clever play, what a save, it's still alive. But Russia can't get it over. Well, the contacts from Russia were skimming the net. And as such, they would have had to defy gravity to scoop this one over. Look at the hustle from Russia. Terrific from Malik. Then from Perubets. Each contact touching the net, and ultimately they're not able to get it over the net. Germany back to within 4. Perubets with a big hit. Terrifically saved by Durr. From inquiring as to whether there's a touch. So challenge has been requested. And there's confirmation that there is indeed a touch from the outstretched finger of Romanova. Point Germany. They close the gap to 3. So Stigroth to serve. Germany 6, Russia 9. Second set. Talisheva with the reception. Big backcourt spike, powered over from Malik. Point Russia to extend their lead to 4. From. Oh, quick hands once again from Voronkova. Backcourt spike from Perubec. Lenka Dur going to court to keep it alive. From has it repelled at the net from a tandem of Romanova and Efimova to give them a 5-point lead. Dur with the reception. Marin From. As Russia keep it in play. Here's the set. Terrific quickness from Stigroth. Clever play. Russia going to court, despairingly, but it's ultimately in vain. Wonderful disguise. We've seen the force from her hand on a 90 km/h spike. But here, deft touch from Louisa Littman. 8 points in the match now on that, her 7th successful point-winning kill. Efimova tried to execute the same play at the net with a delicate little dink. But Marin From was wise to it and able to produce the block. Move to 5 points in the match. Germany back to within 3. Oh, what a hit! Voronkova reaching behind her to put that one away. 5 points in the match now. Russia lead by 4. Terrific athleticism in evidence once again. Dur hustling, bumped over by From. Russia now with plenty of time to set. Germany, have they recovered? No. Dur going to court once again. She really is putting her body on the line for her team. But even her motor unable to get her in position to secure that ball for her team. You cannot question her desire. And more often than not, she comes up trumps by getting a contact that keeps her team in the point. Timeout called by Germany. They're trailing by 5. Russia responding very well indeed after conceding the opening set 25 points to 19. So Lazarenko into the match and can only find the net on her service attempt, the 20-year-old. That gives a point to Germany. 9-13, they are trailing. So Hanka to serve. That's a terrific serve once again, well dealt with by Kalisheva. Pulverizing power by Voronkova. We move to 6 points in the match now. 4 successful kills, and look at that, the 100 km/h barrier breached with 101 km/h put away from Voronkova. So Littman's clever touch dealt with by Russia, who arrive at the 16-point total to trigger the second technical timeout in a commanding position. They lead by 7, and it's been a terrific response from the 5th-ranked team in the world. Well, the highlights from set number 2 so far, as we see Scherzel off the reverse set. One of her 7 points. Louisa Lippmann leads Germany in scoring with 8. It's a really clever play to find the space with a deft touch. Lenka Durr, well, during the course of that point where she couldn't get that one with a dive, she did produce a dive to keep her team in it. And there's evidence. Terrific desire demonstrated by the German libero. At this juncture, it's Russia who have the advantage on the scoreboard. Romanova to serve. Stigroth with the reception. Good defense from Hanke. And ultimately, Germany coming away with that point. They seem to be under pressure from the Russian attacks. They arrive at double figures. Marin from bisecting the gap between Fetisova and Voronkova. Oh, what a block at the net. Grunding and Lippmann in tandem. Who got the crucial touch? Fantastic play. And Lippmann in the vicinity once again. But credit not gone in her direction for that defensive play. No matter, we continue. Kalisheva unable to dig out that one. Terrific reflexes at the net, and the set allowing Stigroth to position herself perfectly for her 5th point of the match. So 3 consecutive points won by Germany. Timeout called by Russia to break their momentum and readjust their tactics as they look to close out set number 2. So when Lippmann was in tandem with Grunding at the net, it's Grunding who'd been given credit for the block. Terrific save by Durr on the spike from Voronkova, and then terrific play at the net from Fetisova. So the set for Peru best, but it's denied at the net by a trio of German defenders. Unable to get it over the net, such was their presence. And Germany back to within 4. Terrific save, and then look at the hustle from Lippmann, the leading scorer. It goes over on the 3rd touch from Germany. Spirited applause from the crowd here at the Suwon Indoor Gymnasium. But Germany had produced such hustle, they weren't able to recover their positioning, and Russia capitalized on the spaces that existed in their attempted defenses. But the hustle from Germany, from Lippmann, who sprinted into Russia's side of the court to keep her team in it, again, it can only be admired. Stigroth with the spike received by Voronkova, who took off on the backcourt and touched it over deftly. Big set. Turned back by Germany. Lengthy rally, this one. Lenka Durr with the set. Running into play, and it's going to be a point-winning play. Is Stigroth. 6 points in the match for her now. was a lengthy exchange. From with the got contact on the ball but couldn't control it on this occasion. Germany unable to reel it in despite demonstrating the desire to do so. Big hit from Malik. She's serving now. 4 points in the match. The team lead by 5. Stigro with the set from out of bounds, and it produces a point-winning play from Lippmann in the backcourt. Well behind the attack line. And still she was able to find a space. As from the previous point, where Maren Fromm and Louisa Lippmann couldn't keep the ball in play for their team. But the point that followed saw the set from a similar position way out to the side. The backcourt attack was successful. Terrific hit from Malik. 5 points in the match for her now. Russia lead by 5. Cute angle produced on that kill. Well, there was plenty of space as the German hitters were converging to see which way the set was going to go. And the attempted overhead by Fromm was blocked effectively by 3 Russian defenders in tandem. They're 4 points away from taking this second set, and they lead by 6. Perubet's looking to serve. She's got 6 points in the match so far. It's out of bounds, and the first point of the match for Vanjak. Coming into the game off the bench and making an immediate impact, the 22-year-old. 0.9 meters tall, Ivana Vanjak. The service going long gives Germany, sees them facing a 6-point deficit as Lazarenko prepares to serve. Jump spike is effective after she put a previous one in the net, and it put Hanke in such difficulty that her reception could only find the net. Her teammates couldn't keep the point alive. Flat jump serve, difficult to deal with for Vanjak, and Hanke, she couldn't get that ball up and over. So again, it's been a wonderful response from Russia, having conceded the opening set. Germany calling timeout as they look to make an adjustment tactically, which will see them get back to parity. Haven't got many points to play with, of course. Russia 2 points away from taking set number 2. Lenkadur with the reception. Vanjak with the overhead. It's sent back over by Russia, but that one won't be. Terrific, quick-wristed put away by Hanke. Really got some whip on that spike, and the placement was perfect. So Umudu into the match, preparing to serve. Her team looking to edge their way back into this second set. Well, that brings up set point number 2 on the service error. Set point for the first time here in set number 2 for Russia. And it's Romanova to serve. Terrific save by Gorbacheva. Amudu with the set, the backcourt spike attempted, hurtling after it is Perubets. He's going to have to go over on this occasion. Is this in play? Yes, it is. Lenkadur with the bump. There's the set and the spike. Too hot for Gorbacheva to handle. So Germany stave off the first set point, but a challenge has been requested by Russia. Well, no fault, because the attack launched from well beyond the 3-meter attack line. So set point for Russia still. 24-18 they lead. Terrific save from Paul. Oh, what a hit from Louisa Littman. She moved to double figures in the match on that, her 9th successful kill. But Germany need a run of unanswered points to try and take this set to 2 clear points. Timeout called. Russia looking to break the momentum that Germany are establishing here in this fight back. High speed slam on that spike from Littman. Double digits in the match now, the only point scorer to arrive at that double-digit total to lead all scorers. Well, Russia just caught in 2 minds seemingly there. A little bit of hesitation before players went to ground, but they couldn't get there before the ball made contact with the court. Desperate dive. The players looking, but ultimately nobody committing. Touched over, recovered by From. Louisa Littman with another thunderous spike. 11 points in the match now, and Germany competing terrifically well. They've been facing set points, but still they're just taking it 1 point at a time and are closing the gap. Deflection on the net cord on the serve from. Oh, and Amudu, her quick contact catching her teammates unawares, and finally Russia close out the second set. But Germany will be buoyed by the fight back that they produced, making Russia earn that second set, but they have done so to tie this matchup at 1 set apiece. Germany take or concede set number 2, Russia take it 25 points to 21, and we are all square at 1 set all. As the front court trio of Littman, Grunding and Pohl were recovering from their block attempt. They were just a little bit out of position to attempt to keep the contact from Amudu alive. That's how Russia confirmed set number 2. And so we are currently tied at 1 set all. Approaching 1 hour of play here at the Suwon Indoor Arena. So highlights from what was a fantastic second set. Russia started incredibly well after conceding set number 1. Some fantastic plays throughout from both teams, both offense and defense. Maren From with 5 points during the course of set number 2. About 2 points, 1 kill, 1 monster block. Beautiful reverse set from Hanka. And Louisa Lippmann with 6 points in the second set alone in her double-digit total for the match. Rubets with 3 points in set number 2. Stigroth with a pair of points during that second frame. But it's a set that's been taken by the 5th ranked team in the world to tie this thing up at 1 set apiece. 2 unreturnable serves produced by Russia. And look at that one over on the right. Perfectly placed, finding the sideline, good depth as well. The stats from set number 2, Russia with the edge in blocks once again. A pair of unreturnable serves, doubling the total produced by their opponents. So we're preparing for set number 3 then. Maren From gets things underway. Voronkova sees her attempted spike dealt with, and Russia could not reciprocate as Maren From gets the first point of set number 3 on the board with a booming backcourt spike. Oh, touche, says Fetisova. 6 points in the match for her now. We're all square at 1 point apiece. So Voronkova with her jump serve. Dealt with effectively by Stigroth. Delicate touch. Is bumped up by Talisheva. Lenka Dur, the libero, into action for Germany. Lippmann can't keep it alive. And it's Russia who take the point. Rubets with 8 points in the match now. Good save by Dur on what was a brilliant serve by Voronkova. Not unreturnable, but there's no question that it set up the easy put away for Fetisova, because Lenka Dur had to dive full length to keep the initial serve alive. The German defense is split, and Fetisova capitalized with a forceful spike. Clever play by Stigroth. 6 points in the match for her. Brings her team back to within 1. Grunding with the serve. Voronkova with the reception. Rubets, 9 points in the match. And that speedy spike to give her team a 2-point advantage. Oh, Lippmann turned back at the net by Efimova, her second block of the match. And it gives her team a 3-point advantage. Timed to perfection. After some wonderful anticipation, got her into perfect position. Efimova. Fetisova to serve. From with the reception. Oh, well received. And I thought that Voronkova had dealt with it effectively, but she couldn't control the contact. Germany back to within 2. Well held, sir. Over on the sideline. Lenka with the contact. Even a player with the speed and energy of Maren From not able to run it down. So Maligina with the serve. Oh my goodness, what a save from Telisheva off that thunderous spike. And Russia come away with the point. Louisa Littman hit that backcourt spike like a rocket. Had an affectionate peck on the cheek for Telisheva because she really put herself in the firing line to keep that point alive for her squad. And they come away with it. They lead by 4. Lenka with the set. A trio of Russian defenders turn back the attempted put away, and it's a 5-point advantage as Russia arrive at the 8-point total to bring about technical timeout number 1 in this 3rd set. Well, Voronkova, 4 blocks along with 4 spikes, and her serve has been such a devastating weapon once again for her squad. She's been terrific throughout this contest. Look at the height she gets and the way she's able to direct that kill block to conclude the point. And she's produced a spike of over 100 kilometers per hour. 101 kilometers per hour on the speed gun in set number 2. And she hasn't produced an unreturnable serve yet, but look how difficult this jump serve is to deal with. It puts Lenka at a really disadvantageous position. Germany are split apart, and Fetisova feasts on the easy pickings. Irina Voronkova, a leading light for Russia in this match that is currently tied at 1 set apiece. Maligina to serve. Big hit from Paul. Voronkova with the reception. Perubets powers over a point-winning play. Germany unable to control the block. So Maligina to serve once again. Imudu setting up Littman. Now is there contact? That's what Germany are claiming. And it's been deflected out of bounds, which means that it is point Germany. Points in the match now for Louisa Littman. That service error makes it point Russia, who restore their 6-point advantage. Rubets with the serve. Lenka with the reception. Backcourt spike is kept alive by Romanova ultimately. Voronkova puts Durr under pressure. Maren From times her leap and finds a point-winning play from a really difficult position. She showed terrific patience there, got herself into perfect position, and was able to produce a point-winning spike. That is fantastic. Just hesitated momentarily to time her leap ideally. And it's 9 points in the match now for the German captain. Scherzer with the serve. Voronkova with the reception, cleverly touched over by Efimova. Backcourt spike by Paul is rejected at the net. And it's Voronkova once again. 5 blocks, I make that now, for Voronkova, although she hasn't been given credit for that one. Germany take the point. Claw back the deficit by 1. High speed spike from Louisa Lippmann. Touché, says Voronkova. Well, she may not have been given statistical credit for the previous block, but there's no doubt that she's claimed the point on that occasion. And again, in the region of 100 kilometers per hour. Ball still alive. Lenka Durr gets it over. Terrific hustle from Germany, but they couldn't get themselves back into position to deal with that spike. Fetisova, 8 points in the match now. That's terrific hustle. Look at the reflexes from Imudu, catching that one with her teammates back. Imudu with the set. Lippmann tries to touch over. She then sets from with the backcourt spike. Romanova with the set. And it's Voronkova who moves to double digits in the match now on that, her 6th successful kill. So Russia leading by 8. Romanova has been absolutely sensational. That's the Voronkova put away set up by Romanova. Voronkova with 10 points in the match now, a 101 kilometer per hour spike in set number 2, and one at 99 kilometers per hour on the speed gun here in set number 3. So Germany trailing by 8. That's a big hit from Louisa Lippmann. 14 points in the match now for Germany's leading scorer across the VNL. Perubets unable to dig that one out. Maren From. Voronkova continues her dominant display here in set number 3. 11 points in the match now, including a block. Well, excluding a block would be the correct way of saying it, for which she hasn't been given credit. So she remains on 4 blocks, but 11 points in the box score for Voronkova. Well, that'll be a welcome sight for Germany. Cut the deficit to 7. They demonstrated terrific fight in set number 2 to make Russia really work to close out that second set when they staved off multiple set points. Well, unable to control that attempted overhead, Scherzel sees Germany face an 8-point deficit at the juncture of the second technical timeout. Russia in a really strong position here, racing through set number 3, having taken set number 2. So some of the highlights. Lenka Dur sent sprawling to try and deal with the high-speed jump spike serve of Voronkova. Just offered up invitingly for Fetisova to put away. Efimova in the block and then in action once again. Fetisova, absolutely sensational in the match. 8 points so far. 3 of them coming in set number 3. So Russia with a commanding performance so far here in this third set. Fetisova preparing to serve. Pole with the reception, has to go over on this contact. Pole gets it over the net, set by Voronkova. And then the German defenses breached once again by Perubets, who moves to 12 points in the match to lead her team in scoring. Going down the sideline, Imudu anticipated the other direction. Big hit from Louisa Littman, terrifically saved by Voronkova. Russia have to put it over on this contact. Aligina does so. But that left them rather disorganized defensively, and Littman needed no second invitation to move to 16 points in the match on 15 emphatic kills. 91 kilometers per hour practically. What a display of high-speed hitting we're witnessing from Littman and Voronkova here at the Suwon Indoor Gymnasium. Well saved by Amudu. Stigroth puts it over. Clever touch from Perubets. Imudu with the set. And the attempted backcourt floater by From was short and could only drift harmlessly into the net. One of those moments. So Germany being doubled up here, they trail by 9. Novik with the serve. Oh, that's a terrific hit by Stigroth. 8 points in the match for her now. Talisheva with the reception. Imudu with the set. Backcourt spike attempted by Littman. Now, Voronkova elected to play that. I didn't get the sense that it was touched by one of her teammates in the front court, but had she not touched it, surely it was going long. But again, the speed of, no, it was touched. So it was touched at the net by Efimova. Voronkova with no choice but to try and keep it alive, and she couldn't control it. So Louisa Littman with 16 points in the match. So a definite touch from the hand of Efimova. But it really put Voronkova at the mercy of that pile-driving spike. She couldn't control the ball. So Germany, who've trailed by as many as 9, back to within 7. Stigroth prepares to serve. 11-18 here in set number 3. The reverse set brings Perubets into play. Littman with the reception from. Sees her spike received by Voronkova, who thunders down another one to move to 12 points in the match. Joint leading scorer for her club, for her team, along with Perubets. All of Perubets' points have come on kills. Voronkova, 4 blocks she's been given credit for in that total as well. Talisheva with the set. Voronkova, well saved by Talisheva. Has to go over on this contact. Perubets does so. Terrific dive by the libero from Germany, and then the libero of Russia into action once again. Oh, terrific play. Voronkova on the spot once more. What a point. A mega rally. There's some terrific defensive play from the libero on either team. Mudu put in a really difficult position after Pogany couldn't control the initial service reception. The German libero. So Perubets with an unreturnable serve, even though there were 2 contacts from the Germans. That takes her to 13 points in the match. Felix Kozlowski with the instructions.
Hier bleiben, so wir agieren an den Bällen. Ist gut, an den hohen Bällen. Probieren weiter mit 3 Blocks zu gehen und gut warten. Okay? Mit dem Block immer sprechen, dass wir alle gleichzeitig gehen, alle aggressiv. Los! Deutsch! Angreifer! Alle!
Perubets with the serve. Clever touch from Louisa Lippmann. We've seen her put the speed gun under pressure with spikes of over 90 kilometers per hour. But this time it was delightful disguise and delicacy. That brings up point number 17 from Germany's leading scorer. So Scherzel preparing to serve. So point Russia. And Voronkova with her 10th successful kill, 14 points in the match. Russia closing in on this second set with a 10-point advantage. Oh, an unreturnable serve from Efimova. Stigroth unable to control the service reception. And Russia racing toward the second set. Excuse me, the third set total to make it 2-1. But a service error gives service back to Germany. So Mudu to serve. And it's beyond the baseline to bring up set point for the first time. And look how many Russia have to play with. So substitutions. As Maligina and Romanova check into the game. Katikova takes a seat on the bench. The Russian teenager. Mudu with the set. And the put away scored by Vanyak. Second effective kill of the match for Vanyak. Louisa Lippmann finding the space once again. 18 points in the match now for Lippmann. Following on from the 15-point outing she produced against Italy yesterday. Timeout called. Because just as in the second set, Germany are battling bravely, making Russia earn the set point. They'll be competing with everything that they have in an effort to extend this third set for as long as they possibly can. So Vanyak serving. Germany still facing set point, trailing by 9. And what a way to bring up set number 3, and how fitting that it's Voronkova who has closed it out. She has been absolutely terrific throughout the match, and in the third set alone, well, 7 points on 7 successful spikes. Germany takes set number 3 by a score of 25 points to 15. A dominant display throughout that third set. And now Germany will be forced to take this one to the 5-set distance if they hope to arrest their 4-game losing skid. Well, Russia may have conceded the opening set, but they responded terrifically to take the second set pretty comfortably. 25-21. And then in set number 3, Voronkova has been absolutely unplayable, as she has been throughout the match. Her jump spike serve continues to make life difficult for Germany. Lenka Durr could only dink the ball back over after her desperate dive. It was feasted upon by Fetisova, but that was made by Voronkova's high-speed spike serve. Towering defense at the net from Efimova. 3 blocks in her four-point total to this point in the match. Fetisova with 3 effective kills in set number 3 alone. 3 blocks for Efimova in set number 3 alone. 4 in the match for her 8-point total. Perubets, second leading scorer for Russia, 13 points, and this was her unreturnable serve. A double contact from Pagani and Emudu. Ultimately, Germany unable to get it over the net. Voronkova has been a tower of strength, offensively, defensively, on her serve. She's almost been unplayable during the course of this match. And Russia building around the terrific play that she has been producing throughout the course of the contest so far. One of the best spikers, Voronkova and Perubets for Russia. And Voronkova spiking at 50% coming into this match. Burr and Malik spiking at over a 50% success rate for the VNL coming into this 6th round-robin contest. And she's continued in similar vein here to be the best spiker, leading point scorer for Russia. And it's Russia who will get things underway. Romanova preparing to serve. Russia have taken 2 straight sets to lead by 2 sets to 1. Nice reception off a high-speed spike by Talisheva. Louisa Lippmann. Now the set, trying to set up the backcourt spike, and it's an effective one. Germany take the point. My goodness. They were under fire there from Russia, but some resolute defending kept them in the point, and then a nicely disguised play sees them take the opening point of set number 4. So Mudu preparing to serve. Has to go over on this contact. Perubets does so. Amudu with the set. Aaron From sees it turn back. Quick reflexes from Pogani. Libero into action once again. From sends Maligana sprawling. Amudu going to ground. Lengthy rally this one. And still the ball's in play. Louisa Littman with the point-winning spike after a mega rally. And Russia, while the players just standing in their respective positions. Germany responding terrifically to take the opening 2 points of this fourth set. And this is in stark contrast to the manner in which they started sets 2 and 3. Maligina gets the first point on the board for Russia. Stigroth went scurrying after it, but unable to catch up to the cannon of her teammate Maren From. So here's Voronkova. What'll happen with the jump spike serve? Deflection off the net to make it even more difficult to deal with. Louisa Littman with the attempted spike. And it's an effective one to tie things up at 2 points apiece. Well, Germany were claiming a deflection, so it's Russia who take the point. It's all square at 2. Blistering jump spike serve once again. Terrific reception. But it came with too much power for Romanova to be able to keep it in play. And one wonders what the speed gun will read on that overhead from Littman, because that went like a tracer bullet. There's confirmation. 92 km/h. Romanova in the firing line. Peru bets 14 points in the match now for the Russian captain. Ties things up at 3 points apiece. Terrific placement on that precise put away. Fetisova with the serve. Romanova with the reception of the spike. Peru bets down the sideline, but which side of the sideline is it? The wrong side of the sideline from Russia's point of view. Was there a touch? No challenge has been launched, but Peru bets unable to control it. Down the alley. Difficult shot attempt. The German defense is in such terrific position. Peru bets with the reception. Big hit from Maligina. So point in favor of Russia. Maligina to serve, 4 points apiece. Fourth set. Romanova with the reception. Excuse me, Voronkova with the reception to set up ultimately the point-winning spike from Maligina. Found the space terrifically well, bisecting a tandem of German defenders into the open space in the backcourt. Overhanded reception from Stigroth. Louisa Littman poured into action. She comes away with the point to take her to 21 for the match. This match that is all square here in set number 4. 5 points apiece. Peru bets with the reception. Talisheva bumping it into position for the final play over the net. Here's Talisheva once again. Peru bets. Spikes in the direction of From. Stigroth sending Talisheva sprawling. Terrific recovery by Littman. From with the touch over the net. Backcourt spike attempted by Maligina, and she breaches. The German sextet to find the court and produce her 5th point of the match. demonstrated wonderful accuracy on her putaways. 4 successful kills now as Perubet serves. 6-5 for Russia. Talisheva with the bump. There's the set. And flying in from the backcourt is Perubet, who then was called into action to keep the point alive. Perubet back into the backcourt. Thunderous hit from Voronkova, turned back. She's called into action once more and can't control the trajectory. She puts it into the net on her own side of the court, and it's all square at 6 points apiece. She was called into action twice in quick succession there, and the accuracy just evaded her on her second attempt at overhead. But that should in no way detract from the towering performance she's produced so far to lead her team in scoring. Talisheva with the reception. Ligina comes back over on the first contact. Clever touch, desperate dive, kept alive by Pogany for Germany. Maligina with the reception of the spike. Overhead is deflected, ultimately controlled by Stigrot. Louisa Littman sends Maligina sprawling. Delicate touch from Voronkova. Oh, what a hit! Well, we've seen that on a few occasions in this match from Hanka. It doesn't necessarily produce a high speed reading on the speed gun, but after this lengthy rally, 25 seconds in duration, she's able to get such whip and precision on her overheads, often from the far side hand as well. And it produces another point. Wow, that's a big spike from Voronkova. Backcourt spike from Maligina, and it drops in play from Russia's perspective to make it all square at 7 points apiece. Maligina moves to 6 points in the match, and 3 of them have come here in set number 4. So Efimova to serve, 7 points apiece. What a hit, my goodness. Flying in from the backcourt. Louisa Littman brings up the 8-point total for the first technical timeout of set number 4. And this one is nip and tuck, approaching 100 kilometers per hour again, given running room on the plate from her teammates. And that one came down as though fired from a cannon. Fantastic height from Littman. Highest spike reach on the team, 319 centimeters. She approached 3 meters on that put away to trigger the first technical timeout. Well, some of the highlights from the match so far. Terrific defense. One of the 4 effective blocks for Efimova. Fetisova with 5 successful kills in her 8-point total. Scherzer with the serve. Germany leading by 1. Voronkova powering that one down once again. 12 successful kills in the match for Voronkova. 16 points total. And she ties things up at 8 points apiece. And her and Littman, my goodness, they are producing an exhibition of devastating hitting here at the Suwon. Well, Maligina and Fetisova in tandem, producing the effective block. And it's Maligina who gets the decisive contact, her first block of this 4th set, but she's got 5 points in set number 4 alone at her second block of the match. From with the bump, then caught into action for the spike. Romanova with the set for Voronkova. No sending that one back over. I'm not quite sure whether that's voguing from Maligina. Maybe she's a little too young to remember that. But dancing with delight nonetheless. At the pile-driving point produced by Voronkova. 16 points in the match for her now. Russia lead by 2. Lippmann, oh my goodness, again. Well, there is some really heavy hitting in evidence from the leading scorers for their respective teams. Supersonic once more from Lippmann. 23 points in the match now. Pogany with the overhanded reception. From sees it turn back. Pogany goes to her knees to keep the ball alive. And Lippmann with her 23rd effective kill ties things up at 10 points apiece. Running cross court for the set is Romanova. Maligina sees her spike controlled, but that one from Lippmann is uncontrollable. She is on fire at the moment. Germany eke out a 1-point advantage, 25 points in the match for Lippmann. Terrific accuracy. Just long, or is it? It's an unreturnable serve, I thought for a moment, but no, it's good judgment from Russia. Just beyond the baseline from Hanka. So Perubets taking a seat on the bench. Boyukova checking in. So here comes the high-speed jump spike serve from Voronkova. Germany deal with it. Lippmann sends Voronkova sprawling. The set from Talisheva. Action at the net from the German defenders. And once again, Lippmann and Vazorka were called into action for Germany at the net, but they were unable to turn back. The high-speed spike from Maligina. 7 points in this match, 5 effective kills, or 8 points in the match, excuse me, on her 6th kill. And an unreturnable serve from Voronkova, who is in the zone at the moment. High speed, right down the sideline. How on earth do you deal with that? Absolutely sensational. Her first ace of the match. And indeed, we saw Stigroth put her hands on her hips, because it's one of those you just have to say was too good.
Tief wie eine Abwehr. Und fertig jetzt, dass sie vielleicht ein bisschen verzögern und der Ball auch kurz reinkommen kann. Okay? Los, aber, Side up. Deutsch!
So Voronkova serving. Russia lead by 2. Has to go over on this contact. Lippmann with the hit, and she finds the gap. My goodness. Germany appear to be extended after dealing with that bullet serve from Voronkova once again. But they were able to turn it around so quickly. Lippmann with 26 points in the match, equaling the total that she produced against Japan in the third match of pool play over in Brazil in week 1. So it's a 1-point match, a 1-point game here in this 4th set. Germany trailing by 1. Voronkova with the reception. Quick hit at the net from Fetisova is turned back by an effective German block. So we're all square, 13 points apiece. Well, point to Russia because there was a touch. Beryukova into the match off the bench with her first point contribution so far. Pogany with the reception. And Vanyak with her third point of the match. Her overhead deflected out of bounds. Oh, that is terrific hitting from Maligina. 9 points in the match now. On that, her 7th successful kill. And Russia with a 1 point advantage, approaching 3 meters on the spike height once again. Set. Reverse one, but towering defense at the net from a combination of Scherzel and Lippmann. Sending back that attempted spike from Beryukova. And it's Lippmann who does get credit on this occasion. She produced a monster block earlier in the match, but it didn't go down on her stat sheet. That one most certainly does. So we are all square, 15 points apiece. Russia wrestled the serve back from Germany to bring up the technical timeout by arriving at the 16-point total here in set number 4. They lead by 1. Well, Louisa Lippmann leads all scorers with 26 points in this match. Well, you can see the graphics actually giving her credit for 0 blocks. But I've counted at least 2 of them where she has sent the ball back over, repelling powerful spikes, but offensively, well, there's no doubt. Here's one of them in this little replay reprise. But they haven't gone down in her stat sheets, but make no mistake, in this facet of the match, she has been utterly unplayable. 25 clean kills. So many of them approaching the 3-figure mark on the speed gun. They're going to need a lot more from her because they have to win 2 straight sets now to Germany if they hope to avoid losing 5 matches straight. Perubets into the match for Russia, their captain. Well, that is a really effective play for Germany to send Scherzel running around to the flank, elevating off one leg and powering down the point-winning play. 10 points in the match now, all of them coming off clean kills. And they don't come much cleaner than that from Efimova. The 4th successful spike, 9 points in the match for her now, as Russia restore their 1 point advantage. It's Efimova to serve. Hanka not able to control that left-handed overhead that has been so effective throughout the match. So Germany have requested a challenge after the point was awarded. And here's the official review confirming that there was no touch. So point to Russia. Timova prepares to serve. Lippmann sees her spike controlled by Maligina. Powering in from on the attack line was Perubets. She couldn't control it. Catching the net and drifting out of bounds. So it's a one-point match once again. So point to Russia. As the attempted German block goes out of bounds. So Pogany with the set. Germany eke their way back to within one. We're deep in the fourth set now. Trio of Russian defenders jumping in unison. They couldn't control the block. Hanka with the serve. Terrific hitting by Fetisova. And Germany always getting back to within one, but Russia crucially keeping their noses in front. It's all smiles among their sextet because they are edging closer to the winning line. They've won their last 7 matches against Germany. Sprawling save from Telisheva, delicate touch from Voronkova. Here's the set for Lippmann. Oh, what a block. Terrific play from Russia. And the Disco Divas are in evidence once again. Strutting their stuff, turning the surface here at the Suwon Indoor Gymnasium into a dance floor. Beautiful block by Maligina. 10 points in the match, 2 successful blocks. And 8 of those points have come here in set number 4. What a catalyst she has been for her team. And it's going to take an almighty effort for Germany to force this to a 5th and deciding set now. They are trailing by 3. But remember, in the previous 2 sets, 2 and 3, when Russia have had a fistful of set points, Germany have made them work to close it out. So Germany, the first order of business for them, we're looking to keep themselves in contention as Russia edge ever closer towards the match point total. Voronkova preparing to serve. Russia's leading scorer with 18 points. A devastating jump serve. Difficult to deal with for Germany. It has to go over on this contact. Voronkova with the bump. There's the set. Perubets with the spike. Well saved by Pogany. Backcourt spike is turned back. Germany stretched. Has to go over, and it does so. Overhand save is effective from Voronkova, but then it cannons back straight into the face of Perubets, and Germany come away with that point when they were being pulled all over the court. Absolutely terrific tenacity from the German squad. Well, fortune favoring the Germans on that occasion, but it's a fortune that they created. Gerties with the block. Well, really, Voronkova with another unreturnable spike. Almost a case of self-preservation there for Pogany as the ball came flying towards her at over 90 kilometers per hour. Well, Russia can sense victory here now. And Germany, their competitive spirit, their togetherness has to be admired. But the block turned back by Perubets. 15 points in the match for her. Here's the set, has to go over. Oh, remarkable from Germany. And again, from a difficult position, Germany coming away with the point. Vanyak showing exquisite dexterity to get herself into position to execute that difficult stroke. Has to go over on this contact. Flat push, terrific hustle from Voronkova. Big spike attempt and a point-winning spike attempt comes from the hand of the captain. Perubets moves to 16 points and it brings up match point for Russia here in set number 4. Well, it's a rivalry that Russia have owned recently, but Germany made a terrific start, claiming the first set. Russia have responded magnificently and now have match point. It's Maligina to serve. A flat serve received by Vanyak. Going to court is the libero, Hanka, comes back over. Louisa Lippmann with a clever touch, kept alive by a sprawling Perubets. And the attempted overhead is long from Maligina. And just as they did in set number 2 and 3, Germany competing doggedly to make Russia earn the point to take the set. But a challenge has been requested here. They're looking for a contact because it went beyond the baseline by some considerable distance. Here's the review. No touch, point goes to Germany. Russia still with match point, but Germany have staved off the first one. So preparing to serve is Germany's leading scorer, Louisa Lippmann, who has been sensational in this match with 26 points. Big pressure here. Serve is in play. Talisheva with the reception. Perubets with the big hit. Tossed up by Vanyak. Whipping overhead once again from that trusty left hand from Hanka. Timeout called by Russia again, just looking to break up any momentum that Germany are putting together. It's difficult to read because it's coming from the shoulder that is furthest away from the net. She found the space effectively to move to 5 points in the match and keep Germany in this match. But Russia still on match point. They'll want to close it out as efficiently as possible and not allow Germany to strengthen their belief. So the next point, absolutely crucial for Germany to try and force this. If they look to force this to a 2-set margin to take set number 4. Voronkova with the reception, the set for Perubets. It's turned back by the German defenses at the net. Perubets once again, deflected at the net. Knocked back by Romanova. Backcourt spike attempt from Maligina. Kept alive by Germany. Vanyak with the big hit. Romanova sent sprawling, but she can't control it. And Germany, just as they've done in sets number 2 and 3, really making Russia work for this. Felix Kozlowski remaining cool on the sideline. But their team now, if they can get one more point, then we'll be going to the 2-point clear margin. And how differently things look here in set number 4. Because it appeared that Russia, who had plenty of match points to play with, but Germany, as you'd expect here in the VNL, are giving them absolutely nothing, and they are making Russia work for this victory. But victory here in set number 4, not a foregone conclusion by any means, and if it goes to a 5th and deciding set, well, Germany will really fancy their chances, because Russia have lost each of their last 7 5-setters at world level major tournaments, going back to 2016. So Germany will no doubt be aware of that statistic. And they'll be looking to force a 5th and deciding set to test the composure of Russia. Crucial point here, Lippmann to serve. Still match point for Russia. Perubets with the big hit, desperate dive, keeps it alive for Germany. Sprawling defense from Maligina, back backcourt spike is effective from who else but Voronkova. And the leading scorer for Russia closes out this match in 4 sets with a booming backcourt spike. She has been absolutely terrific all match long, and how fitting that the winning point came from her hot hand. 20 points in the match for Voronkova as she concludes this contest, where Russia have prevailed over Germany by a scoreline of 3-1. It took close to 2 hours to conclude. Germany, just as they've done throughout the VNL, competed really keenly, but it hasn't been enough to force a 5th and deciding set. And it's Russia who get back to winning ways after losing against Korea here at the Suwon yesterday in what was a notable win in a rivalry that they dominate. Here, the trend has been continued. Russia dominant in this rivalry, and they earn another victory over their German rivals. This was the winning point, and the backcourt spike from beyond the attack line, emphatic from Voronkova, breaching the attempted German defenses at the net. So Russia improved their standing, or their record, to 4 wins and 2 defeats in the final match of Pool 6 here in week 2 at the Suwon Indoor Gymnasium. Terrific performance by them. Whereas Germany, well, the skid continues. They claimed victory in their first match in week 1, but now that is 5 consecutive defeats suffered by Germany, and their record sits at a lowly 1-5 for the 13th ranked team in the world. So Russia, the dominant team, in a 3-1 victory. They have now won 29 of the 31 matches contested against German teams. Voronkova, absolutely sensational. Her jump spike serve, such a key weapon. Her hitting was almost unplayable for the majority of this match. And on the defensive side as well, she produced some eye-catching plays which will not show up in the box score. In addition to her 4 blocks, there were some remarkable recoveries where she kept her team in it. Perubets, the Russian captain, with 16 points in the match. An able assistant to the potent play of Voronkova. Luisa Lippmann was the leading scorer for Germany once again with 26 points overall, equaling the total that she produced against Japan. But it's Russia who get back in the winning column after experiencing defeat against Korea yesterday. And that concludes this match here from the Suwon Indoor Arena. We hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for being part of the game.